Welcome and
Hello.
congratulations on this movie.
Thank you.
First time, directing a feature length, and wow, it was fantastic. I have to tell you, I
Thank you.
really enjoyed it. What does it feel like to, as a director, bringing this film to the festival?
It feels better. Yeah, it does. I'm proud. I'm very proud of the film, and I just it's a little bit different coming with. I've always been here with films that I've liked, actually, even acting in them, which is lucky. But no, it does feel a little bit different being a director. Although actors do get treated better. They get more fruit in their hotel room and that kind of thing.
Well, I was going to ask you, because you are an actor and you've been in so many things, so many movies and everything. What was the difference like for you, besides, not getting treated as, as
well, not having to have my big fat head in front of a camera was the first one. Mm-hmm. That was the first relief. No, to be honest with you, I had for years wanted to direct, mm-hmm. and it just took as long as it did, for me to get around to doing it. But it was over the years of being on film sets, I just felt that I was really should be behind the camera telling my own stories as opposed to in front of it, and I think I probably found what I was really supposed to be doing all along with directing, and it was a relief to me to not have to perform and all those other things, and it was a special film for me, Tyrannosaur. It was a culmination of a lot of things, a lot of years, and a lot of events, around my life, and so I'm very proud of the film, and I was lucky enough to get a fantastic crew and cast, and
have you been writing this for a while?
No,
how did this sort of come about for you?
It's a very strange. I wrote it in about a week, this film, and
wow.
But it's a little bit like first album syndrome, where it had been ticking around for a long time. And what I tend to do is just I start to get a sort of series of scenarios upstairs and themes and things and then they just sort of tick over mm-hmm. and build, and then it comes to this point where I just sit down and spew it out, for want of a better phrase, and the results were Tyrannosaur. And once I started to write it, it started to almost write itself, and I think part of it was because I loved the characters so mm-hmm. much as well.
Well, I just have to say, wow. I mean, I cried.
Yeah.
And there's so many. I just felt so emotional after this movie, but it was a lovely story at the same time. Some of the scenes in it, must have been challenging to shoot. How did you go about shooting some of these scenes, especially with Olivia Colman?
Yeah, she had some hard work to do.
Yeah.
If I'm honest, the person who felt that the most was probably Eddie Marzan, who.
Oh yes.
Who really, one scene in particular, I'll call it the attack scene. He was having. I could see it in him, having been there myself in that situation, having to do physical things, in a film, and I could see it in him. That my thoughts were that I just wanted to get this stuff over as quickly as possible anyway, and it's funny because I think people feel that it was some dark struggle on set, and it really wasn't. Mm-hmm. Everybody was looked after, everybody was comfortable. Olivia was well protected in every way possible, and it was all very safe, and we all loved each other, and we knew that there wasn't going to be any funny business going on, and I know they were tough to shoot, but we did the job and pretty quickly moved on. Mm-hmm. And I did no more than 2 takes on anything like that.
Wow.
I wouldn't dwell on that, and a lot of it's slightly off camera too. Mm-hmm. I don't want to keep shooting that kind of thing, you know. I probably felt it more than them.
Well, when you're working with, you had a great cast and with these great actors. When you're working with them and you are shooting, you know, on a very short schedule and very emotional scenes, I mean, you know, do you give them sort of a bit of the freedom? I know you wrote the script to sort of go off and sort of build these characters.
It's not a process where they go off. I mean, I wasn't.